All right, welcome back and welcome to episode 160, special episode 160, because it's also our 100th episode on YouTube. 160 of Those Millennials podcast. Today I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful host, Kev the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Jesse's here. Jesse, how you doing? How you feel? How's you feel? How's your pockets? I like that shirt. I like that hoodie. I'm sorry I called it a shirt. I like the hoodie.
Thank you, man. I've had it for a little while, but
That's pretty fly. For those who are listening, it's Cole, and who's the other person next to Cole?
Kendrick.
Okay, it's pretty fly.
Thank you.
Rel's not here. I mean, he might jump on later on in the pod. But the show must go on. Yeah, man. So we're recording this Thursday after Game 1 of the Nuggets and Heat, but we'll get to that. But first and foremost, like I said at the top, this is our 100th upload on. I'm kind of cheating a little bit because if we're counting Jarrell's solo pods, it makes it 100 podcasts.
Okay.
So yeah, if I'm counting Jarrell's solos, which I think he has 7 or 8 episodes of Off the Rails, so kind of cheating, but it's our 100th episode upload on YouTube, so cause for celebration. I think that's pretty fly. I just like round numbers. Also, another reason for cause for celebration. For you, thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys for listening to the podcast. Help the pod grow. Help the pod go a long way. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Sub on YouTube if you're new around here. Sub if you just watch, and just helps the pod grow. It costs you nothing at all. But yeah, thank you. And if you listen on Apple, on Spotify and Google Play, please don't forget to leave 5-star reviews, and then leave a review. 5-star reviews though, just 4-star if you're feeling real, if you don't like how Rail talking, if you feel like Jesse's talking shit about his bills a little too much, just 4 stars. All right, so first and foremost, up top, I want to start doing happy birthdays again when they align with our podcast, especially for a legend like this. So happy 86th birthday to a literally living legend, to Morgan Freeman. Goes without saying.
Said to my Gemini brother.
No, here we go. Oh, I forgot it's y'all season.
Yeah, it is, man.
I forgot. It's some bullshit.
For a while now.
All you stars and moons people. Anyway, but yeah, happy birthday to Morgan Freeman, living legend. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I was about to say Western Conference Finals. NBA. We're gonna talk Game 1 of NBA. Huh?
Says the score looked like it.
It was real Lakers series vibes, but we'll get to that. Obviously we're going to talk about the big news that happened yesterday that had our group chat kind of going back and forth, going crazy about Shannon leaving, being bought out from Fox and FS1 and Undisputed, but we'll get to that part. But first, before we get to all that, I would like to get to the not list. So for those who are new around here, the not list is a list compiled of stuff that we are going to talk about. I used to say not talk about, but I'm just calling it not list, but it's stuff that we're going to kind of talk about and hit on a little bit. So Jess, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. This one I want to know your approval. What do you think of this? So Will Ferrell is in talks to star as John Madden in a new movie portraying John Madden. So what do you think about that?
I think nothing. Let's see the movie. I don't know what am I supposed to have an issue because he does?
No. I'm not even trying to say like I'm not even trying to.
People don't What people? He don't look like John Madden, or is it going to be a comedy?
Why are you
Yeah.
making this? Why are you making this so negative? I'm literally asking. I think I'm pretty. I know Will Ferrell can act, so I know he can
That's
play
what I'm saying.
something
That's
different.
how I feel about it. He can act. He can. He's not.
But do you think he would do a good job of portraying John Madden? Is what I'm asking.
I think he will get the animation of John Madden down.
Okay.
It all depends on what part of John Madden's life they're gonna tell. If they're gonna go into his football life or try to, delve into every bit of his life, or his, after football life, his professional broadcasting career. Who knows? But
I
so
imagine they're going to do all of it. I don't. It didn't say if it was going to be. I mean, I imagine it's going to be. I mean, if it's going to be a movie, I should have done more research. I don't know if it's a doc situation or a movie.
mm,
When I looked it up, it said movie. So, but
I think it's a biopic,
yeah,
biopic, biopic, whatever people say.
but yeah, I think that could be cool, man. I think
Yeah, I don't see nothing bad
we
with it.
typecast a lot of these comedians like they can't act,
Yeah,
and a lot of them,
actually,
for the most part, are really well and established actors, and they just choose to do the funny things because a lot of times, it's easier and it's what they enjoy. But
comedy is so much harder than the serious stuff.
yeah. Then, but I'm saying they probably enjoy doing that more than doing the drama. But I watch a lot of interviews. That's one of my things I've started emulating. But a lot of comedians always talk about how they they want to break that typecast thing and they want to do more serious roles, especially as their career goes on. So,
Mhm, mhm.
um,
A lot of their comedy comes from darkness, and they believe they can touch into that, and finding the funny in the darkness. So
right. I think that can work. Hopefully that hopefully it comes soon. 'Cause I know the writer strike is going to put a hold on a lot of these shits that
mhm.
are coming up. Let's be real gossipy. This is where we're going to be real gossipy. This is real TMZ. Um, Jesse, you ready? You ready to be TMZ?
Let's do it.
All right, so I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but the internet was abuzz. There was all the rage. It was going crazy because some paparazzi caught YG and Sweetie cuddled up, canoodled in a pool. Looked like on vacation yesterday. So, what do you think? I'm asking you. I'm asking a grown man about what he thinks about two grown people. What do you think of them as a couple? What do you think of them as a couple, dog? YG and Sweetie,
I wish them all the best.
the new rap, the new Jay-Z and Beyonce of the rap game.
Don't go too far. Right there, there's been plenty of people. You could have called them. You could have called them Ashanti, and, Nelly. You could have called
Shout out to
them.
Ashanti and Nelly.
You
If
know,
there's still a thing, I think whatever. I think they just having fun. Yeah, everybody talking about they back
no,
together.
I'm just saying they were a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's plenty of others you could have
Oh,
used. Yeah.
they was together when they was on top, so I don't even want to bring that up. Anyway, but
Beyonce and Jay Z are kind of the pinnacle of it. You can't do the pinnacle of a star couple. You got to do all the
yeah,
ones that.
I just want people, I just want women to remember that Beyonce stayed, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
I,
what did I do?
I have nothing to say.
Just say
I
it.
think a lot of them will tell you Jay Z stayed. I think a lot of them will tell you that it's the other way around, or she made it.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
funny. All right. This one hurts me, but he's a piece of shit. So he was, excuse me, that 70 show star, Danny Masterson, has been found guilty on 2 counts of rape and faces up to 30 years in prison. So for those who have not been keeping up with the story, and unfortunately I have, if those who don't know, Danny Masterson played Hyde on that 70 show. He played in some other stuff. There was allegations by 3 women in 2001 and 2003, I believe, if I remember correctly. One instance, one of the women was his girlfriend, and she said that she raped him while she was asleep, allegedly.
He raped her.
He raped her while she was asleep. And another instance where one of the other young women said that he put a pillow over her face, and so he was found guilty today. He's going to be facing up to 30 years in prison. So yeah, good riddance.
Hopefully you get all 30.
Hopefully you get all 30. That's a piece of shit.
I said hello.
Piece of shit. Piece of shit move. Tell R. Kelly you said hello. Yeah. This, and I'm not. I just, he's a piece of shit. It was so for the I talked about it on here too. So Netflix did a reboot of that 70s show. It was called That 90s Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it again, I knew he was going through legal issues, and it did feel a little weird that he wasn't on it, but obviously I 100% understand the reason why he wasn't fucking part of it, because he was the only OG cast member that wasn't part. Everybody came back in the series at least.
Everybody should forget about him.
Yeah, so
just forget about him.
Oh yeah, all right.
Lucky that the reruns still come on.
Yeah, we should be lucky that the reruns still come on. All right. So let's do a little music drop, as I've been trying to implement this music drop. So as of tonight, I mean, some of this stuff is already out, and then obviously by the time you guys hear this, all this stuff will be out. So, and I'm gonna ask Jesse here, since obviously he's here. I'm gonna ask him what out of the stuff that I'm gonna say right now that he's looking forward to, and I pretty much have an inkling of what he's gonna say. So tonight, or it's probably out already right now. Metro Boomin's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse album soundtrack.
Okay.
The Weeknd Popular featuring Playboy Cardi and Madonna.
Okay, Abel. I see you, Abel.
Okay. Yeah, I know he wants to go by Abel now. You call him Abel, by the way?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Interesting. This one says Gunna, but it just says TBD. I don't know if it's a project or song. That's gonna be interesting if that is, everything that's going on with Gunna. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
A Kid Cudi track is supposed to come out tonight too as well.
Okay.
This one's already out. I haven't even listened to it all the way yet, but Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem, the Hillbillies. I haven't heard that yet. I heard it was all right. Have you heard it already? Okay.
All I saw was the trailer. Not the trailer. I saw the Instagram post of somebody. Something.
Okay. Moneybag Yo, Hard to Love, Heartless, edited project. So I'm not the biggest Moneybag Yo person.
The Little Durk album. Did you listen to the Little Durk album?
I listened to the Durk album. It was fine.
It was good. All right,
he doesn't seem like he's healed all the way though. It's called almost.
That's what I'm hearing.
He doesn't seem like he's healed. But I digress. I don't Cardi B. They've been promoting the hell out of this one. I've been seeing this all on Twitter. A lot on Cardi B. Put It on the Floor remix. We're gonna see how that go. Hopefully there's a video. I think there is a video.
Question for you: have you seen The Little Mermaid yet?
No, I have not seen The Little Mermaid
yet. Have you? Has your daughter seen The Little Mermaid yet?
She's not theater ready. Come on, man.
She's not theater ready.
She's a toddler. She has ants in her pants. She won't be able to stand still, sit still. That is not possible.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not at this stage. It would have been cool though, but she's not ready. So everything that I said, right? I imagine it's Metro Boomin Spider-Verse is what you're looking forward to, Mr. Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'll listen to that. The first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
soundtrack
was pretty good. So.
It has Sunflower on it, the song that went 18 times platinum. Did you see that? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's like us just saying that and just like it's cool. Like 18 times platinum.
It's crazy.
I'm not even the biggest what's his name fan. Why can't I think of his name? Of the White Iverson fan. What's his name? I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I
Oh,
really,
Post Malone. Posty.
yeah, I
I'm not even
really.
the biggest Posty fan like that. Obviously, there's songs that I love and there's songs that are great. But the fact that him and Sway Lee got a song that's
It's a
18 times
good
platinum.
song. It's a good song.
So yeah, Sunflower's a good song, and that was a Spider-Man song, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was the Spider-Man song. I just couldn't get down with it because your boy Posty.
I understand. He got a lot of certified platinum songs that are like that too. He has a
I mean, them and Ray Sherman, they just know how to make hits, yo.
yeah. All right. I got two more on that list. I forgot what number I'm on. This one was kind of fun. This one hit the wire today. You watched you watched Snowfall, right? You watched Snowfall all the way? I hate you. Anyway, I'm gonna say this anyway. Um,
Still on the first season, bro.
Jesse, you're a piece of shit.
It
Anyway,
was it was one of them I just did jump on. I just did jump on. Not that
I didn't jump on Succession and everything that happened with Succession. I haven't. You notice I haven't said one
I,
word about Succession. I haven't watched it. I plan on
look,
watching it as soon as the NBA Finals is over. I'm gonna be able to. It's gonna free up time for me to start watching stuff. Like
I'm barely on the third, maybe the third season of Succession. It's hard for me to follow shows right now. Not because I don't want, or not because they're hard. I just not into sitting there and intensely watching things with anxiety and stuff. So
I feel you. I
I'm not
understand that wholeheartedly. All right.
following
Anyway,
shows intently.
Damson Idris, for those who want to say Mr. Lloyd Harvey, I understand. I get it. I'm just playing. Um, it says he had nightmares for months after calling on help of the devil to help him do a scene for Snowfall as Franklin Saint. Now, my only question, well, I got two questions. One, what scene was this that you needed the help of the Antichrist? And two, why are you asking for help from the Antichrist? I want to see. Well, I don't know. I need to. I should have followed through and saw what publication he did this because I don't know if it was like an interview as far as video or if it was just like
You say
something he
stuff like that.
said.
You start saying like stuff like that, people gonna start
I would have. I'm trying to think
Illuminati rumors. They don't bring up the Illuminati when you say stuff.
what I know. What scene would he need to summon the Antichrist in order to get into that mind state? Hey Jesse, you're an actor. You've done angry scenes before. What do you tap into when you need to get angry in a scene?
Like it's not like it's one of those things where it's like you got to tap into the darkest parts of you. It's really just being willing and accepting to be just terrible and justified in being terrible. So I the way I tap into it is just I constantly hammer what in my head and constantly just go like repetitionalize. I find the similarity of like what would piss me off and what would get me to that point.
Right.
And I try to figure and then why I would be justified in feeling that way, and then understanding like ripping apart all the I don't objectify the character. I don't sit there and be like, this dude's a bad dude. He's a what I mean? Like you don't sit there and judge your character. They're doing it for a reason. So once you find that balance and you let go of that thing, I want to say is like I just let go. You let go of all those things that make you a civil human being. You let go of all that. You have to cut all that away. You gotta, what I mean, that's not who I am. That's not who you gotta let that out the window. You want to make a point, and this is how you're making your point, or you want to get something done. This is how you get it, and you know, you get it by any means. And Like, not to make it as dark, but if you like want to rape somebody, you do that. Like,
all the way to the extreme.
your mindset is you're going for what you want, and you're doing it at, in any means. Nothing stopping you. So I mean,
I,
I'm doing at the most like basic like level. Rape is probably not the best example, but it's like just you just strip away for. I know some people do repetition writing in notebooks. Yes, the idea of things. There was one role. This wasn't to be like an asshole. One role, my director told me just listen to birds because I was supposed to be hearing from like otherworldly places and all the movie birds and just the scratching that they do on the window and they're just the flocks and stuff. Told me just listen to that. Walk every day, listen to that. And so it was like when I was doing the scene, I would hear it and then just like they're over there. And it's like see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
like it's one of those things where it's however you find it, whatever you're doing. I know like for Killmonger and for the Joker, Heath Ledger would lock himself in a room and start writing bad things
I
in his
think I
notebook.
don't remember the actor's name, but he the guy that played it, I forget his name, but he said that he had to go to like therapy like after he played it 2 times
Yeah,
for the
a
movies.
lot of them do because it's like
Original dude, I don't remember, but the remakes.
it's one of the Scars guards.
Yeah, Scarjo. There you go.
Um, but it's like, yeah, Michael B. Jordan said he had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to go to therapy. You're asking yourself to justify things that you're totally against.
Yeah,
Telling yourself that they are right, and you're convincing yourself it's a dark place that you're going, and you're willing to do anything to get it, and you're willing to be as dark and nasty as about it. So yeah. But with that being said, hopefully it's like an over exaggeration. Hopefully he was just trying to like show like tell how far he had to go
yeah.
there. It was just an exaggeration because if you got to call on the devil to do something like that's just
I mean,
otherworldly. That's just what I mean. I think Jonathan Major says it best. It's like becoming or they acting shouldn't really be called acting. It's just that's the best I guess they came out with it, but it's called becoming. It should be called like becoming. You're becoming someone else. You're carrying all that, and you're asked to do this and you know understand a person that can be completely different from you, and then that will drive you to points in your place where your mind doesn't go, and what you're willing to do.
I got you. All right, last one on that list. This is actually a congratulations. Editor, please add the applause right here because we always like to give love and support and acknowledgement for our black coaches. So yesterday, Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons have agreed on a 6-year, $72 million deal for the franchise, so he can be head coach. Um, the highest paid coach. Nobody knows how much Pop makes because nobody knows the years on Pop because the Spurs keep that hush hush. But this is projected to be the high. I mean, as of right now, this is the highest amount of money a team has put into a head coach. While by the way, he's still getting paid from Phoenix. Jesse, still getting paid from Phoenix for the next 3 years. Yeah,
I thought if you get a job, they don't have to pay it.
I think if they let you go, they still have to. They still have to pay.
Completely. Oh, never mind.
So congratulations to Monty Williams. For those who don't know, I mean, Monty Williams is, he's echoed throughout the NBA as one of the best, like, relatable player coaches. Obviously, a couple years ago, he lost his wife in tragic form. And he talked about it, but this is an awesome moment. Kevin Durant, obviously, recently just, when he went to Phoenix, he said, I came here for Book and I came here for Monty. Um, yeah, but congratulations, Monty Williams. He's, is this a little bit of an overpay for Detroit? Yeah, a little bit. But from what I gather and what was being said around the circles, he was planning to take a year off, and Detroit was like, they had to overpay to get him out of the seat. So I mean, I get it. And shout out to Detroit for putting their money where their mouth is. They got Kay Cunningham, they got Wiseman over there, they got some other cool, solid pieces over there. Now they and I like that they committed the 6 years because this team is not expected to win. So Monty's gonna be able to be there to groom this team. Hopefully he has some say in personnel. I would imagine if you invest that much into a freaking coach, you have some say in personnel. But yeah, congratulations to Monty Williams. I think that's fly. You have anything that? Go ahead
Yeah,
and say it. It's a lot of money. Huh?
congratulations.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what would you predict the team becomes, but nobody would really know.
They're not close.
That's what I'm
Especially
saying.
with
Like
Cade, they're not close. But I like that though because that means there's no pressure on Monty. Just let him groom, let him build a culture, let him get some vets in there. That team is very very young. And like I said, they got some interesting people. They got like 5 bigs. They need to figure that part out. So yeah, I think that's cool.
for sure, for sure.
All right, done with that. Let's quickly get to this game for game 1 of the NBA Finals. So I know Jesse, you told me before we hit on the mics that you didn't watch a dribble.
I didn't waste my time. I went for a hike. Then I went to Costco.
You didn't. You didn't watch a dribble. I got home. I had a long, busy day at the 9-5, and I picked up Linux, and then I came home. It was like the start of the second, so I caught most of this game. So I can't even see. This is how blind I am. The Denver Nuggets won 104-93. Jimmy Butler did not have a great game. He only took 14 shots. Bam Adebayo was like the best player as far as the heat on the court. I know Max Strus went 0 for 10. Gabe Vincent, while he showed he played he didn't really do much.
Yeah, he ended up with 19.
Joker had another triple double. I think he only missed 3 shots. Again, I think him and I be wanting to call him Jameer Nelson a little bit sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie, but that's just what.
Is Joker the best player in the NBA right now? Not right now. Just is he the best player?
I think he's the best offensive player in the league. I think that team is literally perfectly personnel. Like they have the perfect mesh of players, and he's the best. He's the best offensive player. I mean, I'm still not done with Giannis. I know people just like Giannis lost, but Giannis literally broke his back and then came back 2 games later, and people were just like, I
asked the question because it's like I think he's in that mode where like that year the Bucks won, Giannis was literally unstoppable.
Yeah.
I just think Joker is in that mode right now where it's just like he's.
So I was telling Carolyn this. I was telling Carolyn this. I think Joker is so good, and this I'm gonna give him credit for. Joker is so good. I think he's gonna get a lot of so big man paid. I think it's gonna be like the Shaq days. Ooh. I think it's gonna not like crazy because for those who don't know what I'm talking about, for years, Shaq got big 7-foot bums, guys that weren't even that great. Some were good, but a lot of them were just 5 fouls. Shaq got these guys paid.
Okay, I agree with you on this, but I will also say I don't think that's a Shaq thing. I think it was still that old.
Yeah, it was still some of the league thing, but the
having a big man.
Shaq was so dominant that you had to have an extra 2 big men on your roster just for foul sake, just in case you had to go up against Shaq. So he got big men paid for a very, very, very long time. And I think what Nikola's doing and what we're seeing in this playoffs is a team like the Lakers A team like this Miami Heat team, um, while again you're not stopping Joker, but if you can acquire somebody that's 7 foot and can kind of just bang with him a little bit, again you're not stopping him, but just having another 7 footer might be especially in the Western. If you're in the West, you might have to bank another set. I'm actually gonna make it one of my personal things when the offseason starts and the free agency happens. I'm gonna be interested to see how many contenders pick up the random big center. Like how many bigs are like DeAndre Jordan. Just it was a player that comes to mind. But the crazy thing is he happens to play for Denver. Like how long is DeAndre Jordan gonna still be on somebody's roster as a 14th man, just so we can kind of bang with Joker if you have to bang with him in the playoffs. I think that's going to be interesting in paying attention. Players like Hassan Whiteside might get dusted off, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Hey,
I know. Like I said,
where's Whiteside at? Where is he at?
He's out of the league. What do you mean out of the league?
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought.
I might need to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure he's out of the league. But I think that's going to happen and it was evident, to get back to this game, it was evident in this game. Just any kind of switch they put him on. The Heat, this game was not a blowout, but I never felt like the Heat really super duper threatened. They cut it to 7 in the fourth quarter, but I never really felt like the Heat threatened. Anytime they got close, the Denver Nuggets just ran their pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Joker, and they got the switch they wanted, and it was just, as Shaq will say, barbecue chicken, or so.
I will say this:
tough matchup for the Heat, but
very tough. But if they can if anybody's gonna make an adjustment, it's gonna be the Heat. I just honestly like for them to keep the Nuggets to 104 is actually a plus for the Heat. Is just
their 1-3 run zone kind. You're not stopping this offense, but their 1-3-1 zone kind of sort of helped a little bit. They was running 2-3 the 2-3 against the Celtics, and for whatever reason, the Celtics, as you would say, the Celtics, they didn't know how to stop that, or it flustered them. But
I will say this: I don't even think it's going to be they're like anybody stopping the offense. I just don't think the Heat will have enough to keep up with the offense.
Yeah, that part too. I mean, obviously,
everybody hitting.
I was saying to people that the way the Heat were playing, they might not want to play Tyler Hero, or just be like. But now, after seeing a game like this, it's like I can see where Tyler Hero fits in. They just having that spark plug. I mean, you don't have to start him, but having somebody to just run stuff with, because it just felt like at points in this game that the Heat's offense was just in the mud, and Jimmy,
and they do that in every game too, where the offense just feels like it's in the mud, and then Jimmy takes over, and
it just didn't feel like I mean, I should talk about Bam a little bit. Bam, shot 25 shots, but that little pick and roll, and Bam had that was the defense that the Nuggets shows. They was betting Bam to shoot, and shout out to him for getting shots up. He did. So yeah, I don't have any much to add here. I think game 2 is going to be fun. I expect Eric Spoelstra to have something that we didn't expect. So we'll see how we go from there.
I think they did a fill out for this first game, and then they already have something installed. Good luck. I'm not watching any of it, but
you're on strike?
I'm not on strike. I just, I know a sweep when I see one.
5 games.
Gentleman sweep, my bad.
There you go. All right, so let's get to it, man. So let me pull out my phone.
All right.
Let me pull out my phone, my handy dandy notebook. Sheesh. All of a sudden I can't find it. Okay, here it is. So report, Shannon Sharpe has reached a buyout with FS1 and Undisputed that ends his partnership with Skip Bayless. More details about this. So for those who don't know, I imagine if you listen to this, you kind of know what Undisputed is. So I'm going to give you guys the benefit of doubt. Some people don't, though. I've heard seen people in the comments was just like, I didn't know what you guys were talking about, but I liked your point. Whatever. I've seen that, so shout out to y'all for who still
Yeah,
listen to
no,
us.
people.
I try to always do my best job of trying to explain it to everybody. So for those who don't know, Undisputed is a show. It's a first take show on Fox FS1. Um, it stars Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, obviously a football legend, one of the best tight ends of all time, and Skip Bayless, one of the biggest troll bums of all time in sports media. He is responsible for how sports media is today, good or bad. Anyway, Shannon Sharpe literally, I want to say less than a year ago, just upped his contract with FS1. So for him to request a buyout, I'm imagining he requested the buyout. Something had to happen, and it was cool. I don't know if "cool" is the right way to say it. It was funny on Twitter today because a lot of people started posting like it was like a memorial. Like they were posting, so Shannon is expected to leave after the NBA Finals. Normally, after the NBA Finals, again, I don't watch this show anymore. I never watched this show in particular, but I don't watch the little talking head shows. But I know that the regulars, as far as Stephen A. on his show on ESPN and Skip on his show, I know after the NBA Finals, they go on vacation, they go away because like it's like the dead time in sports. Um, so it's gonna be interesting to see. So Shannon is expected to leave after the NBA Finals. It's gonna be interesting to see what they go about keeping this show afloat. I know they have a solid audience. The ESPN First Take is still number one as far as views on at that time slot. But it will be interesting to see how they go about this. From just the reports I've seen, obviously it looks like Skip seems like he doesn't seem like he's the easiest to work with. There's been reports that Skip literally walks around like he has all the power in the world. Like if you say anything to him, if you challenge him, you go talk to the FS1 bosses. Like they don't like him being challenged at all. He's like literally runs the show over there. But yeah, Jesse, I've been talking and rambling for a long time. So what do you think about this? We've talked about them. I mean, we talk about Skip a lot on the show. We talk about sports media a lot on the show. We talked about how we like Shannon. But yeah, I've been talking a whole lot. So what do you think about Shannon asking for a buyout?
I think this was already in the works. I think this was something like after the whole situation during the NFL season, and when we saw them literally have that that moment on television. I think from there on, he agreed to be as
There's been a lot of
professional.
moments though. That's what I was saying. Like on Twitter,
But
people
I
were
think that was
posting multiple, and I was just like, damn, I
yeah,
forgot
but
about
I
that.
think that was the camel that broke the that was the one that broke the camel's back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think once it bled out to that point, I think even then, even when he was like, talking about him, he was never as good as a player as Tom Brady. I think
Tom
from
Brady, yeah, that part too.
that, I think from all of that, he just I also don't I think from there it was already I think that moment where Shannon came back and he tried to be professional or try to say his point about the why he missed work and Skip um interrupted him and then they just went on and you can clearly see this dissension between each other. I think from there they agreed to be professional
Yeah,
and Shannon was working on his buyout from there. He was probably working on it and they worked it out. Now, what I said, look, we said this. Shannon's doing his thing in his podcast, Club Shay Shay.
but
He's
Club
doing
Shay Shay is also I read up on that. He's gonna lose the podcast because it's part of Fox. It's FS1 produced podcast, so he probably can start from scratch. I don't know if it's gonna be called Club Shay Shay. He might have to change the
he
title
can do it.
and start from
Yeah.
scratch. But
That's probably well,
that
that's
is a Fox
well,
property. That is a Fox property.
well, that's probably part of the buyout. he can
Maybe,
keep. You
maybe,
know what
maybe, maybe he
I'm
gets to
saying?
keep the name. Yeah, and
Yeah,
maybe all the content. We'll see how that
yeah.
goes.
So that's probably part of the buyout. And I think he just was. I personally, I think he also got tired of being on the side of not being on the side. As much as he would argue for players and everything, I think he was tired of getting the criticism of what he would say and all those things. That I think that started to take a toll on him. And
It'd
I
be
think,
tough going out into the world. I would have. I haven't experiences like this. I mean, to a way lesser extent. Like I go into the world and have to comment and defend what Jesse and what Jarrell says on here, right? Like if Jarrell says something crazy,
Mhm.
like somebody will send me something like, "Why you let Jarrell say that?" Again, on a way lesser scale. It's got to be harder if you're Shannon fucking Sharpe and a proud Southern black man who
or a proud former athlete.
athlete
Like
and
because it's not like Skip really goes deep, delves into like saying racist. Oh, I mean, you can say
right. But you still
racist
you
undertone,
go to the
but it's
barbershop
like,
and then you go to the barbershop, you just trying to chill, and
yeah,
they're like, "Man, what's up with
I know
what's up
he's
with your
probably saying,
man?"
and I don't, and you're saying barbershop. I think it's
Everywhere,
players.
airport,
Players. I'm thinking
yeah,
players. Players are saying something. I think he also he's crossing over into a star in a different way, where he's front seat of the Laker game. His face is literally becoming someone people look for, right? But
right.
I think is I know people would say he's been doing it for a few years, but I think what this year's show with the things he was saying, I think he's like, man, this man really don't respect athletes. Like he really don't see us as people, and I think
I've talked about Skip's ego. I think his ego and his pride is just like Michael Jordan big. I think his ego is ridiculous. I think his
I
pride is on the same level. He just
think
won't. He believes what he says. You can't tell.
yeah,
He's one of those where you can't tell him any different. And there's no convincing him. I
yeah,
think.
oh, yeah, definitely. I mean I agree 100%. I also think he's just he's just a man that he thinks this is what entertainment is, and this is his sport
Yeah,
for him. This is
yeah,
the sport for him, and he treats it like it is a sport. He doesn't try to give what he's gonna say with the talking points and all that stuff. He doesn't want. He really takes it as a challenge and an argument. And I think that's the difference between him and Stephen A. Stephen A. understands the entertainment value of it. He
right,
knows what to say, polarizing stuff. That's why, at the end of the day, he couldn't really work with Max Kellerman because Max Kellerman wasn't trying to be polarizing. He was trying to have these deep delving into this and that and that. And Stephen A. just wants you to make a point, and I'm gonna counter that point or whatever you're
right,
gonna say. And he wants to it's not me versus you, it's us versus the audience. That's a great way Bomani Jones said it. Or I don't think it was Bomani, it was Dominique Foxworth who said it, whereas like Stephen A is like it's us versus the audience, so you going at me so hard, it ain't it that ain't entertaining. We're trying to entertain these people, so it's us versus the audience and trying to do what that matters. But Steve or Skip, he's very much of that way. He's very intense about it, and I think he just one of these things is like I think like Stephen A was willing to put up what Skip does. He can go around it, right? And
right.
I think like I was saying about Shannon, he made himself a character, and he's outgrown the show. He's literally outgrown the show, and I think it wasn't a long-term thing for him, but it's interesting because he was very appreciated to Skip
Right.
because Skip got him the show.
Skip, yeah,
And
yeah. Skip said he wanted to do the show with him when he left. When Skip left First Take, and there was rumor of him starting another show. FS1 was, I think, in infancy of the stage. They obviously wanted to compete and take some of the views away from First Take, and they needed it. And that's why they paid Skip Bayless like he was an athlete. They gave him the athlete contract. They wanted somebody. Obviously Skip he could have sat across from anybody. the literally anybody. That's a really dope, high paying, powerful job. Like to walk away and say no to that job, some shit really has to go down. So like I'm sure Shannon appreciate him giving him that seat. He got the reps he needed. I mean, he has the. He was already Shannon Sharpe, so I don't want to say, but he has the different kind of exposure
Media.
wise.
Yeah, he's a media. He's in
And now I'm gonna ask you the real question that I super. One, what do you think happened to the show? With and then the second one is what do you think is gonna happen with Shannon's future? What do you think Shannon's gonna do? Where does he go from here? You can start whichever one you want to start with.
Like I said, I think Shannon's gonna go deeper into what he actually wants to do with like Club Shay Shay. I think that's what he actually wants to do at the end of the day. I don't think he wants to do the debate show stuff anymore. I think he wants to try to get into hosting, finding things. I think he's good friends with Steve Harvey. Maybe he goes to a game show.
So I think I don't want to cut you off, but I think I was watching Pat McAfee, right? I think he had a good point. Shannon has become so good at this as far as talking football and talking hoop and doing the base show, like
just talking.
Just talking. Period. His perspective. I think
bringing the entertainment value to it.
Yeah, exactly. I think for anybody that's trying to get into the sports media atmosphere or world, if you're looking for somebody to be the face of your thing, Shannon Sharpe might be that guy. Like say so Amazon is like kind of tapping their feet in it, right? Like they're like obviously the NBA's television deal is coming up, right? Like they're going to be a bidding war between Turner, ESPN, and others, right? As far as the rights for the NBA games or how they want to distribute it. If Amazon wants to just go full in this shit, like having a face that is like Shannon Sharpe, that might be something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Amazon will try to throw him in the bag once for the NFL season. I think YouTube might try to throw him in the bag.
Yeah, like if Amazon has their shows, right? Like they can
NBC Universal has their football
NBC,
stuff.
yeah, like
he's gonna do the circuit of the sports talk shows, and I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen A. tries to sneak in and
I was gonna say that was gonna be my next thing too. I was like,
but
I think Stephen A. likes the revolving door of the people that he get in there, like JJ and your boy Mad Dog, because that's your man's Mad Dog. I'm just putting them on. I'm just putting them on. Yeah. I think Stephen A. has kind of enjoyed the revolving door of people.
You can still keep it that way. Like they do with, imagine him, Shannon Sharpe, and Michael. Why am I forgetting his last name right now? Michael Smith. Not Michael Smith.
Michael Smith's on another channel.
No, he's on the wide old Cowboys wide receiver. Michael.
Oh, Irvin.
There we go. Wow. Michael Irvin on a Monday
after football, on a Monday after football Sunday. That'd be fly.
That would be ridiculous.
That'd be fly. That would be must see. And so this is my 2-pronged question. So what do you think? What do you think?
You just wouldn't be able to make some drinks on TV no more.
Right, that part. You can't, and you work for the mouse now. It's a little different. Yeah. What do you think happened to Skip Bayless? Come on, tell me. Come on, Jesse. Say it.
The show stays. I mean, Skip's not going to want to change that. He's gonna do the Stephen A. thing, a revolving door for a while. He probably may. Well, no, they won't. They wouldn't do it unless Nick Wright wants to do.
I was about to say that like the perfect marriage is him. The perfect marriage is him and Nick Wright because it's like new versus old.
Yeah.
They're both like again, I know a lot of people don't fuck with
This
Nick
is the
Wright.
best quarterback. No, this is the best quarterback.
They're
This is
literally on opposite spectrums of a lot of things. I listen to a lot of Nick Wright stuff, so he respects Skip, but he also
Nick Wright's in New York, though. I don't know if he wants.
yeah, Nick Wright's in he's stationed in New York. I don't think you can move him to LA. Obviously, he's the face of First Thing First. Him and Chris Broussard, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name that used to work for ESPN.
There's somebody that's gonna be like they're gonna have a revolving door, but then there'll be somebody that Skip already has in mind who's already.
I think I think they would kill each other.
controversial.
I think Bo would go crazy, but what if Bo was to sit across from Skip?
No, he can't.
I'm about to say I think Bo would go crazy.
Bo does. He just don't do the. He's not a debate guy.
Well, I mean, him and Pablo really wasn't debate, but High Noon was kind of similar.
They tried to do it different, but he's not a. He will tell you. He says it all the time. He's like, I'm not really what people like. And he's right. What people like when it's just him and his boy, him and somebody, and they just talking. And they talking stuff. They can have different opinion, but it ain't this. You make a point, and them going at each other. We just talking. And if you listen to his podcast, especially when he has a guest or Foxworth Fridays, is y'all just talking, laughing. And I wish they could figure out how to emulate that onto TV, but they can't.
It's hard,
especially when it's a podcast. So
it's hard.
I think the only ones that really were able to turn it into a TV show was His and Hers when they.
That was fly. I mean, don't get me started. That was when I fell in love with podcasts. His and Hers back in the days.
They able to bring it to television, and that made and it was good to the point that they put them on SC6. Like they were killing it. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where
not to the right.
Oh well, whatever.
What was I about to say? Damn, you made me lose.
But he may do what Jamil Hill's doing. Shannon may do what Jamil Hill's doing. Get the bag from Spotify.
That's true.
Launch your own podcast. Like he can, he's
the perfect. Good. So Pat McAfee had this idea, and I don't think it would work. But because these egos wouldn't be able to fit in the same room together. But if you get Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd at the same time on the same station.
I mean, they are on at the same time. No, Colin
Cowherd. That would be crazy.
He's not really a debate guy either, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just them two. That would be crazy. I
would say the first person that's going to show up is going to probably be Nick Wright.
Yeah. I think they're
gonna have to eat crow.
If I'm keeping a buck, I think they're keeping that seat warm for Nick Wright because he's the star of that network besides Skip Bayless, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna, yes, definitely. But I do think they do also like. That's why I said if it's Nick Wright, it's like maybe he'll have to end up doing double duty because I think they like him having his own show too.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know who they get in to fit that block he has. Like, look. Yeah. I know they're trying to do it with LaShawn McCoy and is it Jocelyn? I don't know her name, but
I don't watch any other FS1 stars.
It's like
definitely not the one person else.
Yeah, they try to do it with that, and it's just it ain't got the same thing.
ESPN is shoving out a lot of money, man. So like, I mean, I expect there would be some kind of talks as far. I mean, unless Shannon has something lined up already, or if he has
want to. I think he's gonna try to.
But
chop and do his own thing.
The fact that ESPN just got the Pat McAfee show, like that's going.
They're not spending more money at the
they're ready.
Firing people,
but they spend a lot of money on football though. They will empty their bank account.
Oh, that's why I said they would probably try to sign him for a football thing. I just think Shannon's gonna try to do like what Pat McAfee did, which is he's gonna try to build his own brand and then see who's gonna come. Pat tossing the check, you know what I mean? Like I just see that, and it ain't gonna take long. He just got to build it out for this time being. That he's got to let it be known he rolling out, but he gonna try to do come over this way. Just let it be known. But unfortunately, the show's gonna go on for Skip. I don't see him doing anything else. He's just trying to do the podcast thing, but
over Jesse, just over Jesse. Tell Skip it's over. That you had You had an amazing run. Again, let me give him that man his flowers. While whatever, he he is the godfather of this sport shit. He is one of the forefathers of how we talk about sports. He is. I don't. You can say what you want for better or for worse. He is one of the reasons how people consume and talk about sports like that. He made it when he was on ESPN. He was must see TV after a big game that happened by a player that you like or didn't like. You wanted to hear his opinion. Yes, 100%. Like, if you were madly into sports, like how we were madly into sports when Skip was in the thing, like watching
I did it
Kobe,
for mornings
watching
because
Kobe Bryant, watching
yeah,
Kobe
he
play a
did it for
game
mornings. Yeah,
in the
he
morning,
changed it
watching
for
Kobe play
morning.
a good or bad game, and then waking up in the morning and hearing Skip find stuff that like Kobe could drop 40. This is again, he was. I'm talking before he talked to LeBron was I mean LeBron was still in there, but he wasn't focused on LeBron at the time. He was focused on Kobe and how Kobe Bryant was playing, and he would talk about how Kobe was just a hot dog all the time. He would talk about how Kobe was just like
And then
doing
changed
this.
it
He's doing this
all up.
copycat of MJ. Like everybody doesn't know that, but he wasn't the biggest Kobe guy like that. He wasn't because he
Switched
Kobe
it
was a
all up.
copy of his guy MJ.
And then
By the way,
switched it all.
hey Skip Bayless, how was MJ your guy when during his 8-part commercial on Netflix, The Last Dance? If you guys want to call it docuseries, I'll call it a commercial. How are you not in it when multiple media people that Jordan did not like were in it, but you claim to be his guy? You're not. You're not his guy.
He didn't. He always said from afar. Like he never really had a conversation with Jordan, or never really had that like one. He's
He
never
talked
had
about all he talks about it was his credentials and how he used to follow Jordan. It's
yeah,
cool.
there's a difference,
It's
but
cool.
there's a difference. There's a difference because he was a columnist speaking
It's cool.
opinion. He was an opinionist.
Yeah, they
or
had
like whatever
way
they
more
call it.
access back then.
So
but
it's not about access. It didn't require talking to the players. It's literally just giving you go to the interview or you go to the press conference afterwards and all that. But he wasn't like he never had a one-on-one interview with Jordan. He probably hung out with him, but it was never
sure.
anything that was like
that was like just again.
he didn't get access like that. He didn't get
Everybody who was around Jordan. There again, there's people in his doc that Jordan was not feeling, and they were able to get time on his documentary that Jordan had all the power to change or whatever, and you weren't in it. So that says a lot to me. All right, you have anything else to add before we get out of here? Well, I have nothing else to add. I think that's it, Jess.
I would like to say congratulations to my cousin, Cole and Aaron. They got married yesterday.
Hey, congratulations. That's fly.
Yep.
Black love. Black love.
Black love. It's beautiful.
Black love is beautiful.
Congratulations.
Don't don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. If you're new around here, please sub up if you can. If you're Apple or Spotify or Google Play listener, please leave a comment.
Follow them. Sub up. What's it gonna be in the next 5 years? They just be switching terms up.
They're trying to make terms cooler and stuff. But yeah, for me, for Jess, we're those millennials, and we're out.